All right, so today we're going to be writing our conclusion paragraph to our paper. Just like we have worked with topic sentences and conclusion sentences in our paragraph work, think back to our paragraph of the week. We know that our conclusion sentence in a paragraph sums up what we just talked about in our paragraph. It's the exact same thing that a conclusion paragraph does, except now it's 3 to 5 sentences instead of one sentence. And it's actually going to have a very, very similar layout as what our introduction paragraph had. So the first one, or the first sentence of your conclusion paragraph, you're going to hook your readers in again. So dogs are such fulfilling pets that warm your heart and give so many good memories to their owner. Again, I chose to go the scenario route just to hook my reader in and give them that feel-good feeling of, yes, you need to buy a dog after reading my paper. Now, you could also include an interesting fact or a question. If you have another idea, just run it by me and let me know, or ask me, hey, Mrs. Hurst, kind of thinking about adding this as a first sentence in my conclusion paragraph. Would this work? Once you figure out how you're going to hook your reader back to the end of your paper, your middle sentences, again, are going to mention not what you're going to talk about, but what you talked about in your paper. So again, you're going to list all your subtopics in a sentence or two. So I put, now that you have gathered information about dog equipment, breeds, routines, food, and exercise, you are ready to start enjoying the responsibilities that come with owning a dog. So you'll see that I mentioned equipment, breeds, routines, food, and exercise, and those were actually all of my subtopics in the order that they appeared in my paper. And instead of saying, you're going to learn about these things, I now phrased it as, this is what you learned about. But I didn't necessarily flat out say that. And we don't want to, because that's not very fun or interesting to read as a reader. So we want to find a way to summarize our information that we just said, but also still keep it hookish and lively for our reader as they are finishing reading our paper. And then last sentence, you're going to transition goodbye to your reader. So I wrote, owning a dog does come with a responsibility, and knowing the right information before getting a dog helps make the responsibilities easier to handle. Let all the slobbery kisses come your way. So this was actually 2 sentences. I probably could have included the first sentence, owning a dog, all the way to handle, up with my second sentences or third, fourth sentences, but I think it still would fit either way. Transition goodbye to the reader is another sentence that necessarily isn't saying, here's what I talked about, but just finding a way to transition out of what you talked about, but also summarize it and still hook your reader in a way. So I talked about owning a dog does come with responsibilities, because I know that equipment, breeds, routines, food, and exercise do mention or hint at responsibilities of a dog. So that's why I use that. And I also mentioned the word responsibility in my middle section of this paragraph. So I wanted to tie that in completely. And then knowing the right information before getting a dog helps make the responsibilities easier, because my whole paper was giving them information to know before getting a dog. So that's why I wanted to say that and summarize it in that way, to say, now that you know all the information from getting a dog, here's what you need to know. And then I ended it with a funny sentence, let all the slobbery kisses come your way. So we want to make sure that we're transitioning goodbye to the reader, summarizing what we're talking about, but also hooking the reader with our first sentence of our conclusion paragraph. Kind of think of it as your conclusion sentence in your paragraph of the weeks that you've worked with in the past. But now we're going to make it into a paragraph length. So your job today is to add in your conclusion paragraph to your paper. You'll see on this assignment, I have this image posted along with this video that I'm recording right now. And then I also included a picture of my conclusion paragraph all typed up in one paragraph. So you can kind of see it all together and how it all flows nicely together and not separated into the different parts like it is on this graphic here. If you're in class today, I'll be walking around. Let me know if you have any questions on how to summarize your paragraph, or some wording questions of, how you should word something. Let me know. If you are virtual today, again, reach out to me if you have a question over email, or we can set up a Google Meet. We can also wait until your next in-person day to kind of tweak a few words, but try to get the majority of your conclusion paragraph written if you're stuck or have a question. Otherwise, you need to make sure that you are finishing up your conclusion paragraph today. Your paper is going to be due not this upcoming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. So Wednesday, February 24th. So that's not very long from now. So if you have questions or you still are missing a few parts from previous lessons in your paper, you need to make sure you're adding those in as we go through these last few days in our unit that's left. All right? Let me know if you have any questions.